actually just came out not that long ago, a week or so ago, a month left. Giannis holds the top spot, right? So it's looking like they're saying you've got Giannis, Rudy Gobert, Mikal Bridges, Draymond, Marcus Smart, Jaren Jackson, Bam, and Herbert Jones, right? So first off, I think it's an absolute crime that Robert Williams is not included on that list. If I had to give my picks, or let's say my top 5, Marcus Smart, Giannis, Rudy, Mikal Bridges, Rob Williams. Those are my top 5. These guys are all like, just when you take into consideration what they do to the defensive end, I mean, these are just damn near irreplaceable, key role players. And with that being said, my defensive player of the year is going to be Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart, 71 games, arguably defensive player of the year, 1.7 steals, 12 points, 6 assists. But since returning January 23rd, he's averaging closer to 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. 3 out of the last 4 months, he shot 40% or better from 3. In fact, he's having one of his best statistical shooting years of his career. He's been spectacular. He was another question mark coming into the year as far as, can he be a real point guard? I think he's answered that question with flying colors. I mean, as incredible as Kyrie Irving was with his performance, the fact that it's just him and Marcus Smart, you're talking about the defensive player of the year, arguably, and then just one of the most special offensive talents in the world. This is NBA, man. This is what basketball is all about, man. Yo, YouTube, how's everyone doing? Jags to Riches, James Peters, thank you all so much for your time. Straight to it, guys. It's a quick and easy one today. This is just going to be, honestly, a celebration. Take a moment and celebrate the 2021-2022 Defensive Player of the Year, Boston Celtics guard, Marcus Smart. Why is it significant? The word guard, because he is the first guard since Gary Payton in 1996 to win this award. Absolutely incredible, long time coming. Like I said, guys, no real direction here. This is going to be a freestyle flow. Like I said, I just want to show some love, take some time, and just talk about this man who has been just an absolute cornerstone, staple, key part and member of this Boston Celtics team for, going on a decade here soon in the next couple of years. And to see where he is now at, coming into this season, there was so many questions about, is he a true point guard? Can he be the de facto number one? Blah, blah, blah. And I think he has just, as I've stated, he's answered every single question with flying colors. So as you've seen, I had a few clips just showing some of my timeline. Like for over the past month now, I've essentially been saying that this is my pick for Defensive Player of the Year. For me, it was all about that January 23rd when he returned, that switch, and just the success that came with it. I think it's no coincidence that this team is, 34 and 10 or 11 in 2022. And they were 17 and 19 in, the start of the year. It's just he returns in late January and then all of a sudden they just go. That is when that streak started, where it was like 10 straight or, whatever it was. It's just 21 out of, 23 or 24 games. It was just insanity. Number 1 defensive team in the NBA, best defensive player on the best team. Like I said, showing some of those clips, some of the timeline, it's just that first one, it was like the ESPN. It was actually just showing all of their finalists. That was about a month ago, almost a month ago now. And the fact that, they had him so low on the list. Robert Williams, shout out to Rob Williams, coming back with the injury. He should be back any game now. A lot of, rumors starting to float around him coming back. He actually received a first place vote. Shout out to him. Again, this is the number 1 team. So you had Marcus, Rob, and Al Horford all with votes, all showing up. So, that was a accomplishment. Like I said, This has been the best team by a long shot defensively since the turn of the year, and no small feat and no small part to Mr. Marcus Smart. The final rankings had Marcus Smart winning at number 1, and then you had Bridges, Phoenix Suns right behind him, and then obviously Rudy Gobert. Third, you had Giannis, Jaren Jackson, guys like that up there at the top as well. I'm not going to drown you out with all of the stats. Like I said, I believe one of those clips actually mentioned his stats, and not just his stats. Again, that January switch, I talked about how well he's been performing since then. But I think it's very intriguing that, Marcus and Bridges were the number 1 and 2. It's kind of good to see them get away. And then I've already seen a bunch of slack and, kickback about Rudy, not winning it again. It's like, Lord have mercy. It's like, it's Rudy and Draymond every single year. Draymond was finally not healthy. Can my man Smart finally get one? Like, y'all didn't give Drew Holiday one when he deserved it. Like, let a guard get one. Like, this man's impact, it's like what he does for this team is like, it is second to none. It really is. Like, take away the offensive side. For some reason, these people forget that there is 2 sides of the court, right? And what an impact a defensive player can make is just as it honestly can be just as much as on the offensive end. For example, if you remember, let's just think of, and I'm using this example just because it stands out in my head. It's Summer League. Remember Peyton Pritchard in Summer League? He just dominated. Like, he was just destroying people. Like, then he leaves and drops damn near 100 points, 92 or whatever it was in a, pro-am. But guess what? He comes back, and in the finals, he matches up against who? The Sacramento Kings and a gentleman named Davion Mitchell. Davion absolutely shut him down, off night, and it changed the entire course. I mean, the Celtics ended up finally losing after dominating Summer League. Why? Because the reason one of the main reasons of domination was because of Peyton Pritchard, but he just got stifled by a superior, excellent defensive player. That is sometimes the impact that they can make. I mean, how many times have you seen Smart just make these just absolute game-changing, hustle-based plays, and you hear him constantly say it's about effort. I mean, he doesn't get enough respect on the offensive end as it is, even though I feel like all those questions have been answered this year. He's essentially having career years across the board. Like, if it's not a career year, it's basically top 2 or 3 of his entire career. I'm talking about he's having a career year in assists, points, rebounds, steals, field goal, 3-point percentage. Every one of those, he's having basically either the second or top 3 best of his entire career. When it came to steals, I want to say it was DeJounte Murray at 2 who led the league. Chris Paul, I think, was right behind him, 1.9, 1.8, something like that. And then you had Smart and I believe Gary Trent tied for third at 1.7. So he's already a 2-time, soon to be 3-time first team all defender. And I mean, if you have been paying attention to what was an instant classic in that playoff performance, he was sensational. I mean, absolutely sensational. Not only did he have 20 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, not only did he shoot 8 for 17 from the field, 4 for 9 from the 3, but I can argue that while damn near guarding Kyrie Irving the entire game, but I can argue that he is the most important part of that game-winning sequence on both sides. Think of it, and I'll take you through it. I know it's Tatum, but the reality is Tatum hit a layup, right? Who did he get that pass from? Now, let's go through it all. First, Kyrie Irving, who has been cooking everyone. Daniel Tice on that shitty pick-and-roll defense. Smart screaming at him to help. Finally, and it's on an island. Smart's on an island all game. Defensive player of the year versus one of the, arguably the best offensive point guard in the game, and it's just a head-to-head. Finally, that last play, they trap Marcus Smart and Al Horford, trap and stifle Kyrie, and they literally take him from the top of the 3 all the way across the key from one side of the court to the other, lock his ass down, force him to pass out with like 4 seconds left on the shot clock to KD, who has to force a 3 with Tatum on him, right? So now they're going to the other end. Derek White, Jaylen Brown kicks it back out to Marcus Smart. There's like 4 seconds left. The old Marcus would have shot that damn ball 9 times out of 10. In fact, I can argue that it wasn't even a bad shot. You shoot that so that you have a chance at a tip in. You know what I mean? So, but he doesn't do that. Why? Because he has now taken that role as a pass first play making point guard. It is who he is now. He pump fakes and has, I believe, Curry and Claxton jump. They bit hard. He goes up and under both of them. And he can do a floater. You know what I mean? Or take the two, a 20-footer. But because he's now he's attacking, Tatum sees that and he cuts. And Marcus Smart finds him. Everyone else is frozen looking at him because the time's expiring, but he is so locked in that not only does he go on from one end of guarding Kyrie, who had just gone off that quarter, by the way, he just goes and makes a huge defensive stand against Kyrie. Now he resists the urge to shoot a shot, a three-pointer that he would have shot so many. I couldn't believe he didn't shoot. And he actually makes the right play on a wide open Jason Tatum, the superstar, wide open cutting to the basket, game-winning play. It's absolutely sensational. I mean, again, there's a real special spot in my heart for Marcus because honestly, my whole YouTube journey is based on Marcus. It was, as a lot of you know, me and Bobby, we came together based on us arguing in his comment section. I've been subscribed to him for years. Who were we arguing about? Marcus Smart. It was me arguing for Smart, him arguing, I think it was a Fournier versus Smart. He was taking Fournier. I was arguing hard for Smart. And that eventually, after me and him going back and forth for a few weeks, he's like, do you want to come on and debate me? No, I've asked multiple people. No one will do it. Shit, yeah, I'll do it. And the rest is history. So again, Marcus is like one of those guys I have been defending for years, telling people, trying to convince them, like the people outside of Boston, to see his value. And just now, it is just so good and gratifying to see everything. This man deserves everything he is getting. He has been instrumental to this team this year and their success. And it's about damn time he gets that recognition. It's just so funny that every time this man signs a contract, people freak out, but almost instantly afterward, he proves that that was a steal of a contract. Last contract, he was making 12, 13 million. Everyone thought that was crazy. He finished that contract as a steal. Now he'd be making, 16, 17 or something like that. Coming into this year, everyone thought that was a terrible signing. Same with Rob. Everyone thought, no, he can't be a point guard. I love my man Bobby, but as he would say, I'll pack up his Uber and ship him out. I'd rather have Dennis Schroeder than Marcus Smart. I mean, Fournier over Smart. Like, the disrespect. I've even been guilty myself, to be honest, saying that if they were to break up this core, he would be the one to go because they're not going to send out Tatum or Brown. But he has answered, again, every single critic and every single question. And the Boston Celtics have their point guard of the future, point guard of the present, point guard of the past, the 2021-2022 Defensive Player of the Year, the first guard in 25 plus years, the Boston Celtics, Marcus Smart. Congratulations, Marcus. Game 2, Brooklyn, Boston, TD Garden, Wednesday, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Watch party, post game, all the above on Celtics Corner. Thank you all so much for your time. Please, if you don't mind, I know you've noticed I haven't done as many clips or, in past videos, recent videos, I should say. And that's because, they've been grabbing those, man, they'll copyright them. And, I'm really trying to, avoid that. But this was Marcus. He earned that. I wanted to really, so there's going to be clips throughout this. If you don't mind, if you could please just subscribe. I mean, good chance, like I said, they're going to copyright this. I'm not really one of those people subscribe, but I am trying to build this channel up. I would like to get to 1,000 subs by the time next season starts. So I know I haven't been as consistent on here, but as you can see, the last several days I've been trying to upload, and I'll continue to. You can find me on Celtics Corner, but I will try to stay committed to this channel as well. So please like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for your time. Jags to Riches, James Peters. Have an excellent rest of your day. Take care, guys.